Hi, I'm Tracy Constantinidis and I'll be talking about the plastic cosmetic surgeries. Below is a picture of Donatella Versace back in the 1990s. This is a recent picture of Donatella Versace in 2022. 30 years later, 8 plastic surgeries later, and a whole new different person. Plastic surgery is a field of medicine that mainly targets the reconstruction in the human body. Fun fact, the term plastics comes from the Greek word plastike, standing for art and sculpturing rather than the plastic that we know in manufacturing. Plastic surgery in general is divided into two parts, the cosmetic serving for self-satisfaction needs and the reconstructive for medical purposes. Nowadays, plastic surgery has been 90% redefined as cosmetic surgery to change one's appearance and to anti-age their body, which is reflecting negatively on their health and well-being. My research was based on the database the Lebanese American University provides their students with, on my major and courses seeing that I'm a pre-medicine student, and finally after thorough research in the field. First, I'll be mentioning the medical effects, and especially on the pregnant women. Second, the long-term effects and the high maintenance cost of such procedures. Third, the influencers, the filters they use, and the power social media holds over teenagers' perspective of the topic. Let me ask you some questions and we'll answer them later after the speech. Are people in need of plastic surgery? Are cosmetic operations something people cannot live without? Are these procedures worth enough of the multiple risks to one's health and reproduction ability? To begin with, cosmetic surgery has several medical drawbacks and disadvantages on one's health. Let's take a look at the study below conducted by Statistica in 2022. It is seen that the most common surgery that occurred in 2022 was the breast augmentation surgery, which has many side effects. According to the FDA, the US Food and Drug Administration, the effects could be on two levels. One, the physical shape after the operation, such as an asymmetry, permanent scars, breast tissue atrophy when the tissue shrinks. Or two, it could be on a medical level, such as hematoma when blood clots, or such as lymphedema when the lymph nodes swell due to the invasion of an outside body. In women specifically and during pregnancy, when the breast implant is present, sometimes it may cause problem with the mammary glands and the mother is unable to breastfeed her children. If the lactose was produced as usual, according to the FDA, minimal amounts of silicone could have leaked into the milk and hence they were ingested by the baby. From another perspective, plastic surgeries have some long-term effects and require a high maintenance cost. To start with, plastic surgeries do not last a lifetime. Biologically speaking, according to Pizzi et al. 2010, every plastic surgery involving Botox should be renewed about every 4 months. Botox will inhibit the nerve communication and hence it will freeze the muscle. And mainly we are talking here about 5 areas in the face: the forehead, the eyes, the lines near the face, the jawline, and the neck. After 4 months, the muscles will relax again and the wrinkles would reappear, and time for a second Botox. In fact, the cycle goes infinitely. Due to the latter, a person that did Botox once and fillers will have to spend a lifetime paying money to keep these results. Statistically speaking, according to the American Society of Plastic Surgeons, ASPS, Americans spend nearly $16.5 million on plastic surgeries in 2018. Also, insurance companies will not cover these fees and the full amount should be paid by cash by the customer. Furthermore, according to a study conducted by Shibu et al. In 2019, published in the NCBI-NIH, the National Center for Biotechnology Information, cosmetic surgery tourism is becoming more prevalent due to the costly operations in some countries. Also, it is important to mention the trend that is now emerging between these 2 years, and it is people from all over the world traveling to Turkey to get traveling to Turkey mostly to get a plastic surgery, seeing the cheap prices there due to the current currency devaluation. In fact, the study conducted led to the results that abdominoplasty which is in Arabic known as تصغير معدة, was the one most prevalent among the operations. And also it has several complications, and these complications listed here are due to the poor censorship and follow back from the government. Third, the power social media holds over teenagers. The power social media holds over teenagers and early adults may largely influence their decisions regarding plastic surgery. Let us imagine young teenagers on social media searching for influencers and scrolling. First thing they look for is how beautiful and perfect the person is, regardless of everything, and they will idolize them. In fact, they will influence these youngsters to undergo facial surgeries to resemble them. Young people will think that these influencers looked like this without these plastic surgeries that they underwent. And this has been proven by a study done by SPS, and it was found that the number of teenagers undergoing cosmetic surgery has doubled in the last 8 years. The number has doubled. It's a large number that cannot be believed by only 8 years. Another important aspect currently is the filters used on social media. Dr. Prochaska from Australia stated that, in quotations, with the uptake of Instagram filters that have the ability to enlarge lips, shrink down the nose, and heighten the cheekbones, there has been a decline in the average plastic surgery age and a rise of teen surgery, particularly for facial reconstructions. To resolve this problem, influencers, and mainly the ones on TikTok and Instagram, should launch a campaign, for example, about self-esteem, self-love, self-care, etc. To conclude, and as a recapitulation, I mentioned the medical effects, and especially on women willing to reproduce. Second, the cost and the high maintenance of such procedures. And finally, the influencers' effect on teenagers and the social media's role in their lives. And finally, it can be concluded that plastic cosmetic surgery has really bad effects on one's health and can impact him or her in several ways. To resolve this, several things can be done. First step can be a social media campaign with the hashtag, let me say, just the way you are, and normalizing face wrinkles, imperfections, body imperfections, etc. Second step could be by the government to educate people about these risks that are not talking about. Third, the beauty centers and surgery clinics could reduce the operations on teenagers, especially those under 18, that are just for beauty and correction purposes. All in all, it is highly advisable to start implementing these solutions on an international basis and to be set by international organizations, either by governments, beauty centers, or doctors, etc. Thank you.